Anime Summit, episode 42.
What does that have to do with anime, though?
Hello, and welcome to the Anime Summit podcast. I am Quokka, and with me I've got Sam.
What's going on?
Nick.
What's going on?
And Mac.
What's going on?
Nick, why you gotta copy everything me and Max say, dude?
So, what's going on?
I didn't copy Sam, I copied Mac. Mac, that's a great idea.
Yeah, no problem.
All credit to
So
Mac.
I got you, fam.
This last Saturday, we were on the Chuunibyou stream. It went great. We'll put a link to the archive of it in the show description.
Yeah, because
I'm just gonna send a D-mail to myself, and
It was really a transcendent experience.
Wait, we were on a stream?
at the time of this recording, we haven't done it yet. So that's the funny part. That's kind of the joke.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
Maybe if it turns out good, we'll keep as like a bank show for if something happens in the future.
Yeah, sure, whatever.
So other than Nick getting put on blast on Twitter, what have you guys
Let
been
me
up
tell
to?
you something. Is that I've had a horrible 2 weeks.
Okay.
Here's what happened.
That's
First
sad.
off,
Why have you had
first
a
off-
horrible 2 weeks?
I guess it wasn't horrible. It was just more like tiring and annoying and frustrating. But it was like, even today, and Nick can vouch for me because Minnesota does this stupid thing that.
Oh, the weather.
Yeah, Minnesota does this
That's
stupid
Sam,
thing.
that's global warming. Actually,
Oh.
this wouldn't normally happen.
Okay, sure.
It's fucking like the end of March.
No,
Like
but
this-
but
we're
even
not supposed to get a snowstorm.
no, but even when I'm like younger, like when I was younger, like it still happened. But like it does this thing where it shows us sunshine and it's like 60 degrees out and everyone's out in their shorts walking their dogs. And then it does this one more thing that I like to call the last hurrah, where Blizzard's like, nope, I got one more big giant piece of poopy in my butt and I'm gonna let it out. and he just fires away. And it took me what should have been a 45-minute to an hour drive took me 2 hours to get home.
Good God.
Yeah, I was like, fuck you.
Yeah, Sam, that's why you don't have a long commute. Just get a job that's 5 minutes away. How hard is that, dude? Come on.
Yeah, why don't you just fucking do that, Nick?
Oh, man.
I'm gonna kick. You know what?
I'm just trying to
Nick
trigger
makes
you,
some
man.
of the
Kick your
stupidest
ass.
comments.
I'm gonna kick
I
your
mean,
ass.
I
really.
got
Sam,
my
why don't you
hair-
just work from home and
He really
be a millionaire?
does.
Easy.
So I got my hair turned green 2 days ago instead of blue. Now it's green to match my motorcycle.
Trisha has to do my hair again.
Dude, you're such a tool.
What?
Is it like bright green or is it putrid?
Freaking
poop
really?
green?
It's like a neon
If
green.
you said something
good.
like I did my hair green because I like green and it's cool, that would have been like, oh, okay, cool. But then you had to add the to match my motorcycle part.
You're such a tool.
I bet it matches his shoes
No, I mean,
too.
I'm going to do a bunch of different colors. Why I picked that one is because it matched my motorcycle.
Well, now we can call you Neon Genesis Quokka Gelvian.
Just like next, I'm going to do navy blue and red to match Ryuko Matoi.
You're such a tool.
You gotta wear that outfit too. You know.
Trisha has to do my hair again.
Well, yeah, I
I'm
know.
gonna make her do it probably tomorrow or this weekend. I'm gonna be like, woman, I'm gonna sit in my salon chair or her salon chair that we have in our bedroom. It even does like the pumpy thing, like the
Wait, so y'all like legit have a salon chair?
Yeah, dude. Yeah, her little.
Also went up to the mountains in the snow, did some hiking.
Yeah, that's stupid. Anyway, so like,
So yeah, my week I did some stuff. The end.
Oh, I showed my aunt our podcast, and she listened to Sam talk about his pooping.
Great. That's such
Nice.
that's such good recruiting material. Just listening to
That's
Sam
so-
go on about poops.
that's so horrible because now your aunt is gonna know me as like the poop guy on Quokka's podcast.
Pretty much.
Oh my god, who is
Yep.
your friend? The poop friend? I like him. He's
The
funny.
poop
Print.
Sam, isn't that who you are?
Okay, I mean, yeah, but like, I want to be known as like the poop guy. Oh my god, so like, there's this one podcast called Anime Summit, and I love it because there's the poop guy is on there. He's so fun to listen to. And Mac is so fun to listen to because he just laughs at all Sam's poop stuff, and it's just funny. It's got a good dynamic. Great. That's great. It's
And then there's that asshole Nick.
fucking wonderful.
Yeah, freaking Nick.
Hey, at least Nick is
What?
not known as the poop guy.
No, Nick just
I mean,
gets,
I go poop.
Nick just gets
That
bashed
helps.
on Twitter for his stupid comments and stupid
Oh,
taste
yeah.
and
Real quick, before we get into it, shout out to Kyoko You'll Love on Twitter. She's super cool, and she's always talking to me and Mac, and that's legit.
super legit.
She's super cool.
Super
Wait,
cool.
is that the
The
same
most
person that was bashing me, or is that
Yep.
the other person?
No.
same
Same person.
person that was bashing you? How does that make you feel?
Smack, what'd you do this last week? You haven't told us.
Mac,
Well, I mean, you've told us in
Mac's been working.
Discord, but you haven't like.
I've been working. Okay,
us.
get this. So I was getting in a car yesterday and I literally smacked my head into the side of the car getting into it. And I'm sitting there cussing up a storm. And then today I'm working on a car. I unbolt this little bracket thingy, my jigger, my bobber. You know, I get it loose. It's hanging on by one bolt. I bend down to get my tool up off the floor. I go back up. All of a sudden it decides that, hey, I want to turn into a swinging arm. And it smacks me in the side of the head in the exact same spot.
Mac, you know what you should do?
I
You
was
should-
not happy.
Dude, Mac, you know what I used to do when I was a framer? I used to like get splinters, cut myself on glass, all that BS. I would tweet about it and go hashtag framer problems and then click on the hashtag and see like all kinds of tweets from other framers. Just like you should like tweet something like, yeah, so pulling out a bolt something or other today, I cut my hand, hashtag mechanic problems, and see how many other people have just fucked up their shit today. Like it's awesome.
Oh, I've got one better than that. I've been working on this car, putting a motor in it,
BMW?
right? Yeah, that BMW. And I got everything in it. You know, all was good. It's leaking oil. And I'm like, what? Why is this thing leaking oil? Well, it turns out the thing had a crack in the oil pan, straight from the junkyard. So I had to drop the entire front suspension to get the oil pan out. That was a joy. After I'd already put, you know, the motor in, of course. I was not happy.
Oh, hey, you know what? You know what else happened in my past couple weeks? Now I know why Nick is so salty, because I fucking literally bent him over and put my dick in his butt playing Magic 1v1
Okay,
Commander.
not literally.
No, I did. I beat his ass at 1v1
Oh, no, it was
Commander in
literal.
Magic, and he's salty.
Oh, in Magic, yeah. So you didn't literally physically bend me over, like it was a
No, but it
magic
might as
argument,
well. It
so,
might as well
yeah.
have been though. Why don't you go get some?
So, Sam, why didn't you have a live stream last week?
It was the other host had some other life events going on, and we were gonna do a makeup show and we just didn't. So that was kind of sucked. But we will be having another episode tomorrow night, talking about bitches.
Why didn't you
that
just
sucks.
like ask one of us and we'll step in as a co-host and we'll just dick around for an hour?
You know, I'm gonna talk to him about that, and we should do that. I would not mind that at all.
I was in Panama and we still released an episode.
Shots fired at my other
Oh, we did
live
that one
cast
ahead of
show.
time, right?
Get wrecked.
Oh man! Every Thursday at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. Twitch.tv/CardsInHandMN. Shameless plug.
Twitch.tv/cardsinhandmn.
Yeah, I'm hoping to.
If you're gonna plug, at least say it so people can listen.
Shameless plug. Sorry, guys. Shameless
No
plug.
problem,
To it. So
fam.
best
no
girl.
problem.
Let's roll best girl.
I'm okay with our best girl this week. She's pretty cool.
Is she hot?
It is Hotaru from Dagashi Kashi. She's got big boobies.
Oh, is that the purple-haired girl?
And purple
right?
hair.
The purple-haired girl, the main character.
Yeah, man, purple haired.
Yeah. And she really loves sucking on candy.
She is super adorable in like a
She
weird,
just wants you to put it in her
in
mouth.
a weird
It's totally fine.
sexual way.
There's
She's super
a penis
adorable.
joke somewhere in there. I know there is.
I don't see it.
He's talking about dicks.
You don't see it because it's already in your mouth.
In her mouth.
Wouldn't you still be able to see it though? Like it's one of those invisible ones. You just can't see it.
Depends.
I'm just trying to think logically here, guys.
Are
Come
we
on.
going tonsil deep here? I mean,
So Hotaru is, the purple haired chick with the big boobies from Dagashi Kashi. So if you don't know anything else about the show, that's it. But she's like the daughter of the owner of a big candy company or something.
Would you guys recommend that show? Because I kind of want to watch it.
You
That's
probably
my
wouldn't
answer.
like it.
That's my answer, Simon.
Well, I'm watching Shirobako right now. And
Shiribako's better.
Oh, okay.
Shirobako is a lot better.
Yeah,
You know-
Dagashi Kashi has its moments, but I feel like it's gonna be one of those shows where it's only worth seeing those moments and not like the whole show. I don't know.
Okay.
If you got time, watch it. I mean, it's all right. I thought it was gonna be better.
Shiribako's
but-
kind of slow in the very beginning for a bit, but then now
Are you
it's
serious?
I
Fuck out
love
of here. Shiribako's fast.
I love the fact that Shirobako is made by Initial PA Works. Anybody get the joke?
Initial D.
PA Works.
Yeah, but
No,
who made
that's
Initial
so
D?
stupid.
That's the
Initial
question.
D.
Initial D.
I'm gonna find out.
My biggest issue with
Initial D's
Shirobako
nuts.
is just that they introduce a lot of characters really
Hey,
fast.
I was really good at Initial
but
D
that's the nature of it.
back in the day. I was really
Dude,
I
I
only
can
know
I can
Miyamori,
I can
and
wreck
that's
some
it.
people in that Initial D arcade game.
Yeah, dude, I was pretty good at it, but I never beat the last mountain. It was so hard. I never beat it.
So anyway, moving on to the main discussion. We
We
got a tweet a few weeks ago, like 2 weeks ago, from
nice.
at JMZP Design Pro. Hey, at Anime Summit, school days taught me not to be an a-hole with the ladies. What other shows has teached you guys similar life lessons?
I'm going to learn you a lesson, boy.
So thank you, Oh No Jose, for that. We're gonna answer that question now on the show.
On the show.
So before this, we found out Nick has never learned anything from anime and had to go ask other people on the internet what their life experiences
learned
were
that
so that
pretty
he could then
colors are
parrot
pretty.
them as being his life experiences.
I'm scrolling through.
Yo, dude, come on. Like, it still counts. It still counts.
It's kind of hard too because I think when you ask any anime watcher this question, a lot of us will have similar answers because we relate to the anime.
that's what the show does.
We relate to. Yeah, I know. That's what I'm trying to say.
That's the whole point of the show.
Okay, shut up for a second. So, like, I'm just saying, like, if it sounds like we're all having similar answers, it's because we related to it the same way, or it's like a slimmer chance that we related to it a different way. Like Bubblegum Crisis Tokyo 24 told me to always be awesome, and it taught Coco to always be a pervert. It might be, like, different like that. You never know.
Well, also, to be fair, he did use the example of School Days teaching him how to treat ladies, and School Days is not a show to learn how to treat ladies.
No, he said how not to treat them.
Did he?
See, I listen.
I just read it, and
I'm
I
a
don't
good
know.
listener.
Oh yeah, not be an a-hole.
Wow, good
Well, I
job.
mean,
You should
not
listen to
good
yourself,
job.
Quokka.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Step up
which
your
is
A
normal.
game.
Greatest life lesson: don't be a dick. Like, it's literally the best life lesson ever.
So, Zemo, do you want to go first? with
Yeah,
this?
Dead Leaves.
Huh?
Don't be a bitch. No, seriously. Like, it's a really short anime film, but, like, the main two characters don't give a fuck. Sometimes you gotta just not be a bitch and just do it.
Just do it.
Just do it.
That's literally the definition.
Don't let your dreams be dreams.
of Shia LaBeouf. Just fuck everything. Do you do
School
it well.
days.
Is that
right
really
there.
like
Fuck
all
everything.
that show is about? Is just not giving a shit?
No, I'm just saying the main two characters are like, they don't even know each other at the beginning, and they still like just do stuff together and just fuck everything up, and they're just like,
They just do hood rat things with their friends.
actually no, literally yeah, hood rat shit in the beginning. Like they just, like they jack a car, like rob a bank and shit. But like I don't know, fuck you, just watch it. It's really good. It's only like 45 minutes. Also, Pokemon taught me that sometimes you gotta let go. And Bye Bye Butterfree made me really sad.
Bye Bye Butterfree, what's that? He got his Caterpie that same episode, and it became a Butterfree in that same episode, and then he released it like a season later.
No,
but
seriously, yeah, Ash is a bitch. Red is where it's at. Don't listen to Ash.
Yeah.
Ash is dumb. What about you?
Well, in a more
What about you,
serious way,
Cam?
when I was thinking of this topic,
Yeah.
the first thing that came to mind was Chuunibyou Demo Koi ga Shitai. As I can't remember how much I talked about it in our first episode, but I know I talked about it in my little first practice thing that I sent you guys before you guys were on board.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just like, it's a show about certain people trying to get over their Chuunibyou, their 8th grade syndrome, and try and become like normal high school students because that's what they thought they wanted to be. And they happen to have some friends that are not so normal high school students. And they kind of learn going through it. It's like, you know, it's okay to just be who you are as opposed to always trying to be what you think other people want to see.
Unless who you are is a piece of trash, then you got to change.
That's true.
I'm just saying. If you're like a toothless hobo who fights people, you should probably change.
That defeats the whole purpose of what we're talking about, Nick.
Good job, Nick.
Just throwing out a counterexample, fellas.
Because I was just thinking about in like high school a lot of time, like there were definitely people that I probably would have gotten along better with, but I didn't give them the time because they were weird, you know? Like I probably wouldn't have hung out with Sam in high school, but here we are being best homies and stuff.
Yeah, in fact, so much homies that Koka still doesn't look at me during sex, which at this point I've accepted, but it's still bullshit.
And it's actually evolved into kind of a fetish for Sami. He doesn't let Coco look him in the eye anymore.
Ever.
Anyways, Mac, what about you?
I don't see how this is such a difficult topic for you guys.
No, it's not. I just want to let everyone.
Because I'm scrolling through my whole list trying to find.
This is actually a very awesome topic. I just want to let Mac go.
It's a pretty good topic. The first thing that I thought of whenever this question got basically presented was a quote from Eureka 7, which I've tried to apply as best I could, and that is from Adrock Thurston. Don't beg for things, do it yourself, or else you won't have anything. And that makes perfect sense, because if you always rely off of other people for things, I mean, what are you ever going to do? You're just going to mooch off people. No, you need to go out there, do your own thing, you know, make shit happen, do things you want to. And yeah, I mean, shit's going to suck sometimes, but you know, that's part of it. Life in the big city.
Yeah, that's actually legit.
Yeah, that
yeah, like you shouldn't just ask for a fish. You should ask to learn how to fish.
Quoka getting biblical here.
Biblical.
And I was just thinking about as you're talking about, it's like make stuff for yourself. And there's always that thing that always people always like to bring up when they're like when they're talking like the job market sucks. They can't get a job. It's like, well, how about you try and make something? Like maybe you can be like Trisha and sell your panties online to people. Make a business out of that.
There is always a way.
Just get a fake picture, you know. Poop in the panty a little bit. Put a little bit of.
They have verifications, Nick. Okay, this is serious business.
You know, if times get rough, I mean, you can just go stand on the street corner. I mean, you know, there's ways.
That's how me and Cole.
We got red tops.
Well, it's not worth hating on the people that provide you these options to even get a nice job. When a lot of times, especially in small business stuff, that guy that's your boss, he made this shit from the ground up.
Yeah,
you don't even know what it took him compared to what you do.
Exactly.
Ooh, yeah. Dragon Ball Z taught me something.
Nick, is this for real?
Similar to what Coco was saying. You got to surround yourself with strong people so they can save your ass.
That's true.
Like Krillin, for example.
Krillin's actually the strongest
Same
person.
thing as job market. You got to surround yourself with people who are strong. Bam. Then they'll save your butt.
No, that's actually legit.
To adapt that into something that's not actually, fucking terrible,
that's
though.
Actually legit, though. No, because Dragon Ball Z,
no, I mean, the basic concept is just Nick's presentation.
Oh, yeah. No, but this is
the whole thing.
Also, you should polish your head if you're going to go bald. Polish it. It looks better.
You hear about, especially going back to entrepreneurship and stuff, it's the person that's at the top isn't necessarily the smartest, most technically skilled individual. He's the person that's been able to surround himself the best with people that were smarter than him.
Yeah,
because you're not alone.
Who you know. I mean, it's about what you know too, but
just piggybacking on what Nick said. I mean, Dragon Ball Z's got so much other stuff, and as much as I bash, that shonen fight series. I mean, I grew up with Dragon Ball, so I'm kind of biased about it. But Dragon Ball Super sucks, by the way. But I don't know, man. Dragon Ball Z was cool because all the characters in that show, even the weakest ones, by the end of it, they also kind of did their part. They were all there to kind of just be well, I gotta help because it's right. It's what's right. It's what I gotta do. I gotta help fight these androids, even though they're probably gonna kill me, and whatever. You know what I mean? And in real life, we don't have Dragon Balls, so like probably not a lot of people would do that. Like the characters have done it, but even so,
yeah. I mean, there's a couple things like you can't get resurrected in real life, so don't just kill yourself.
right.
Don't take that lesson.
But at least
there's no respawn points in real life, man.
But at least the thing you can take from it, whether you can resurrect or not, is just trying your best to just do the right thing if you can, and that's legit. And have good company, because Goku had great company. Man, if I had friends like Goku did, fuck you guys, by the way. If I had friends like Goku did, I could be Super Saiyan by now.
No, you're setting the bar too low. You'll be at least Super Saiyan 3.
That's what's up. Matt.
Super Saiyan God, Super Saiyan, blue hair, Super Saiyan,
Mac
green hair,
knows
Super Saiyan
what's up.
2.
Good looking out, bro.
Hey, yo, I got you, fam.
I was just gonna go back to the phrase. There's like you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. So you surround yourself with good people because they are a representation of you.
That's true.
And that you'll never be able to be better than all the people that you surround yourself with. So if you're trying to be better, you need to always also push the people around you. And some of them may just mean replacing them. As much as your friends can mean a lot, if people are holding you back, they holding you back.
Yep. Freaking one of the best things ever said in anime was said by Spike Spiegel. And that is, whatever happens, happens.
That's not an original quote at all, Sam.
And whatever in happening causes itself to happen, again, happens again.
I'm not saying it's original. I'm just saying
Thank you, Mr. Tautology.
I'm just saying that I didn't freaking,
Well, okay, I know what you're going with this. He also said a different quote that he kind of borrowed from Bruce Lee, where it's like, you got to be like water when he's fighting. So that's kind of a similar idea to whatever happens.
Sure.
So you got to kind of go with the flow a little bit.
Sure, yeah. But it's almost
and then
like
a side character dies.
I guess I'm more talking about the way I took it, which was, coulda, shoulda, woulda. You know what I mean? Like, what are you gonna do? You're not gonna do nothing. It already happened. Because I have a bad tendency to hang on to shit, and whenever I think of my friends saying, "Oh, dude, Sam, just try and let it go. Try your best to ignore it," I think of Spike Spiegel saying, "Whatever happens, happens." I don't know. Everyone kind of remembers something. Whether they heard it in a song or a movie, or an anime or a television show. It's like, whenever I hear that, I think of Spike Spiegel right away, or I think of
dude,
whatever.
Yeah. Kind of off topic. You can cut this, but when I'm at one of my jobs and I have to mark down a price for something, and I have to change the quantity to 0. I just think of the Big Lebowski where he's like, "Mark it 0. Am the only one who gives a shit about the rules?"
I haven't seen that movie.
You guys know what I'm saying, right? Big Lebowski.
What about
John Goodman?
Has anyone ever learned anything from an anime that's not super epic amazing? You know what I mean?
Dagashi Kashi, speaking of best girl, if you eat too much candy, you're going to get a mouth ulcer. I don't know if that's actually a medical thing that happens, but it probably is.
Okay, but is that something that you took away, or is that just something you're saying?
I mean, I kind of took it away. I've eaten too much candy before, and I've gotten sick, dude. Real talk. I one time on Easter, dude, it was coming out both ends. I'm like, man, Dagashi Kashi.
Man, Dagashi
Real talk.
Kashi.
Good Lord.
Don't eat too much candy. Don't eat too much candy.
What about
she made herself a medicine that was made out of candy.
Have you guys taken anything from any anime of recent, even just the past 2 or 3 seasons?
Yeah, that's what I just said. Dagashi Kashi, man.
Okay, yeah, Dagashi Kashi for you, but what about the other guys?
If somebody lies to you in April, they're probably
and make you end up being with a dumb bitch. Oh, actually,
Coco, you should put a big bleep when he says.
No, that's a good thing too. That's a good thing. As I turned 26 this year, okay, in July, I'm picking back up what Max said because he just reminded
Christmas cake
with your lie in April. As I grow older, I realize, as Coco said earlier, who my real G's are and who I should surround myself with. Right? Don't surround yourself with the person who is gonna tell you not to do something for yourself because their own selfish shit. And I remind your line in April reminded me because the dumb girl next door to the main character, when she was like in love with him or whatever, and she was like, "You can't move away and go to music school because blah 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 blah." And it's like, bitch, you haven't told him how you felt until just now. So like, what did you think was gonna happen?
I mean, to be fair, she's like 14, and she also felt guilty when she said it. Like she thought, she felt guilty.
Like she realized it was selfish, but she still said it.
Well, she was fucking 14, Sam.
I don't care. That's another mistake they made. That anime made.
The characters are written like high school characters, at least from an American perspective.
They should not have.
I know when I was in high school, I was dumb. I'm still kind of dumb, but I was like way dumber.
No,
that's because Americans are dumb.
Okay, but they wrote those.
In Japan,
characters,
people actually have like responsibility, so they might be more mature in middle school.
Okay, but still, like that's a mistake. The fact that they're 14, whatever. Anyways, moving on. Your Light in April sucks. Anyways, here's what I learned.
Just getting that in there every episode.
Here's what I learned from One Piece. Okay.
One Piece of shit.
You ever watched One Piece, dude?
No, One Piece sucks.
How far are you into One Piece?
I've never seen it. It's dumb.
Okay.
Something that you said earlier, Sam, hanging on to stuff. This made me think of that because, talking about the topic and everything. Not everything has to go back to a quote, and you said the whole hanging on to stuff, and made me think of Anohana actually, because if you look at the story and how it is, a lot of the pretty much all of the characters are suffering from not being able to let something go that may or may not have been directly related to what happened in the show, but nevertheless, it was something that they shouldn't have held on to begin with, and you can see just how destructive that has been in their lives since it happened. So I think that's a good lesson from that one.
That's a really good point, actually. Yeah. I do tend to hang on to stuff. It's
there's a. Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry. It's just like, someone will say something to me and I'll get upset, and sometimes I let it eat at me for like the rest of the night or even a couple days, and oh man, I hate it. It sucks. But Anohana is like a very, very extreme situation compared to like what I'm talking about personally, but Anohana does a really good job of
I'm not
still
saying that
message.
You're to the extent of what the show is portraying, but you saying that made me think of that.
Yeah, no, but what you're saying is absolutely right though. Like that's actually, I never looked at it like that until you said it just now. But that's actually a really good point, because they all hung on to this accident or this whatever, and
it just ate away.
It ate away at all of them and their friendships and everything
until they pushed each other away, which was shitty.
Mm-hmm.
Like, cool. I'm gonna fucking cry now. Okay.
Anohana. Shit's rough.
Obligatory.
No, like, yeah, I mean,
NHK reference.
Just like freaking,
Gotta say that now.
Just like freaking relating to this kind of shit. Whatever, hanging on to stuff. But I don't know, man. Like, that's why we watch anime, right? Like, that's why even if it's just like a show like Dagashi Kashi, but if we can learn something from it, then why not?
Yeah.
Well, I got another example that's like Anohana, sort of. I'm the opposite of you guys. I haven't finished Anohana yet, and you guys haven't seen this one yet. But Haibane Renmei has similar themes where it's like it's all about that inner struggle, and like once you conquer that, then you can accept help from the outside. So it's that would probably be like my number one anime for like teaching a life lesson, especially if you've ever like felt sad.
Doesn't that kind of
depressed?
go to that, little stupid girl quote stuff where it's like, how can anybody love you if you don't love yourself?
I mean, it's not
which is
quite,
super
it's
like
not
cliche,
really,
but
it's not quite like that. It's a lot more. It's not like really cheesy or anything. It's super like just powerful imagery, really, like the show. So like basically, if you want to learn how, about like forgiveness and redemption and all that stuff, then watch Haibane Renmei. that will give you that boost that you need. It's like it's something that you kind of already know. Just like all these lessons, we already know these lessons, but you got to have it hammered home from time to time.
Mm-hmm.
I tell you,
It's like, well, no shit, you got to try hard. Like obviously,
something that I never really thought about before I watched one show was just how much you take for granted what happens in your head. Like, imagine if all of those little thoughts and everything that naturally comes up in your mind, in your day-to-day activities, what if other people knew what was going on? And I never really thought about that until I watched Kokoro Connect, which, mileage may vary depending on people when they watch the show. Some people may really like it. Some people may think it's mediocre at best. But it's one of those interesting things to think about. Hey, what if, my mind isn't my inner sanctum? And it's like people can hear this shit. That'd be trippy. And you'd probably get in a lot of trouble. I know I would.
I think everybody would.
I don't know. I don't really feel like I would.
Quokka is sweet, innocent, and pure. He will never harm a fly.
Yeah, except for when he watches a loli anime.
I'm just generally somebody I don't like. When going to one lesson I was thinking about talking about that came from a book, a Japanese book, and not anime at all. That would be sweet if they ever did an anime of it. Is the book Musashi about Miyamoto Musashi, because he's going through like his journeys from being just the son of a rice farmer and going up to city and becoming a samurai and working with a bunch of great things. And there's various points where he stops to like write down something that he learned. And there's one time that he writes down, "Don't regret anything," which you're thinking like, yeah, don't regret stuff. Like, move on. But then he like crosses it out and instead rewrites it as "don't do anything you'll regret," because there's such a big difference there.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's one thing to just be fine with everything that you do, another to actually make sure that you do things that you can be fine with.
Right.
And I just generally, I don't do things that I'm not fine having out there. And that includes a lot of the things I think about.
I think about way too much stuff. I really
Like,
do.
I just more get judged by things from other people's point of reference. Like, I'm not even sure if I want to say this just because of things, but maybe we'll find out from you guys if we should leave this in.
Allegedly, this is all hypothetical.
Yeah. So I have absolutely no problem with like transgender people. I mean, maybe I'm a little bit annoyed by how all of them have to have their own label that fits into the acronym. So it's like,
I am annoyed by that.
LGBTIAIQ plus, and it's like, okay,
That actually
calm
pisses
down.
me off.
Like that, just I have no problem with everybody wanting to be who they are and all that.
Yeah,
but I
that's
also
fine.
really love the phrase "chicks with dicks." And I know that's like super not PC at all.
I think that's funny, man. That
And I absolutely
totally
I have
be
no
PC.
problems. Like if you transgender, like go for it. Who cares? Like, I mean, I've talked to you guys about, like, I think you showed some pictures of Thai lady boys, and some of them are super attractive.
Yeah.
But then it's just like I just like the phrase "chicks with dicks," even though it's like not
and I mean that's a good
appropriate.
No, but
I'm sorry. I think it's
Dude,
funny.
if that's like the worst thing you're thinking of, that ain't nothing.
no, that's a no.
Yeah, but that'd be about the worst.
No,
It'd be
but
that's
stuff
no big
that
deal
where
at all.
People could take offense to
No,
it, but it's not really like a big deal.
There are some trans people who would find that offensive, but most of the trans people I know think that shit's funny. So I mean, it really depends, because there are a lot of gay people. There are a lot of who just think that shit's
Yeah, see,
funny. You know what I mean?
I don't know enough trans people to be able to feel comfortable even using the "would I know a trans person?"
Right.
I have a black friend. I can say
Right.
that.
See, like,
Token trans friend.
I guess it just depends on who you're around, because I have some trans friends who probably think that is offensive, but most of my trans friends, I can say that kind of stuff around, and they're just like, it's like everyday talk. You know what I mean? But also, I don't know. It's whatever. It just depends on who you're around. Just kind of be careful, I guess.
So now the question comes is, should I cut that whole part out or what?
I don't know.
No, because I don't think that you were being offensive. I think you were just trying to explain something. You know what I mean?
What does that have to do with anime, though, or the
I don't
topic?
know.
That's the question.
It was a weird.
Yeah, that was
it
kind
was a
of
weird
tangent.
transition.
Yeah, no,
That's
you could probably cut it out.
Yeah, I try not to do anything that I wouldn't be fine having out there. Like the whole concept of off the record. I don't do anything that I plan to have off the record.
We got the name for the episode, Coca. Chicks with dicks.
I think.
Yeah, okay.
I think there's another really great thing that I kind of maybe not so much learned from this movie, but more so it kind of accelerated my point and made me think like, oh, cool, like this was said in this movie and I'm not the only one who thinks it. And I think a lot of us, the four of us, can especially agree. But if you've ever worked in retail or in customer service, this is kind of like a good point. But in Eden of the East, the second movie, so basically the movie that ends the series, I guess I don't want to spoil, but there's a part where the main character, Akira, is like talking to a taxi cab driver, and I'm not going to say who the taxi cab driver is because that's a spoiler, but it's basically showing the part where Akira was chosen to be like one of the guys who does the stuff in
One
the
of the
show.
Selasau.
Yeah, the Selasau. Yeah.
I haven't seen this yet, so yeah.
Okay.
I had to, when you said that was a spoiler who the taxi, I was like, who was it? And I remember.
Yeah.
Yeah, I still haven't seen this one.
Okay,
It's like,
it's really, I mean, it's really political, but it's really good. And basically, like, he's saying, like, you know, the way that some human brains work, you know, is just kind of like people are tripping. Okay, these are my words, so this is not how Akira says it, but like, he's like, yo, people are
They be
tripping, dog.
y'all.
But like, no, he's kind of saying one thing, and this was just a smaller point and a bigger point he was making, but he said it's the way that some people come at you for being who you are, and people always want to say there's this term out there called the customer is always right. People think that means they have all the power, and the person on the other side of the counter should do whatever they say, and that's not what that means at all. It doesn't mean you get to be a dick, okay? It doesn't mean you get to be a jerk and demand your food or your whatever you're buying. You know what I mean? Like, and like, it was kind of a cool
What
thing.
does it mean? What does it mean?
The customer's always right. It means cater to the customer's needs as best as you can and as many times as you can.
Just making it clear.
Yeah, no, sure, yeah. Definitely.
And give them the benefit of the doubt.
Yeah,
when
always. And, you
it
know,
applies.
obviously don't be a jerk to them because then you'll just get in a lot of trouble and you get the company in trouble. But, like, there's a line, okay? There's a line that has to be drawn. If
the
McDonald's...
Japanese version of that saying is the customer is a king.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But, like...
That's
Which one
sexist,
is that?
guys.
But, like if they... Okay, like, here's a good example. McDonald's had...
Or might be customers of God. I don't know.
Like, and I don't eat McDonald's anymore, okay? But, like, back in the day when I did, and they fucked up my shit, I never went up to the counter raging or yelling. You know, I was just kind of like, hey, you know, this was supposed to be this, and I got this instead. Can I have the whatever instead? You know, I'm really sorry. I thought I said it clearly. I perhaps didn't. And then the other side, the person on the other side is like, oh, yeah, no problem. You can keep that one, too, if you want. It's all good, honey. And it's like, okay, sweet. Great. Like, that's awesome. Like, don't be a dick. You know what I mean? Like, it was kind of a cool thing to hear him say that because working in retail for so long, as long as I did, and Nick worked in retail for a long time as well. Like, it's just kind of like, no, you don't get to be a dick to me, okay? And one of the things he says is, you know, if people weren't in the service industry, weren't there, then who would provide the services?
Robots.
No,
It's gonna happen.
immigrants.
No.
Mark your calendars.
Wow.
Because immigrants aren't people.
No, right. I agree with that. Robots are going to take over the shit. Skynet, we're all going to die. But in the meantime, as long as you're a dick to that person on the other side of the counter, you're going to make them want to quit their shit. And then soon no one's going to be able to serve you your McDouble,
You know
you
what?
fucking
And
fatty.
when it's robots, also don't treat them like shit because then they'll want to take over the
'Cause
world.
then-
Exactly. Skynet.
Yeah, when Judgment Day happens, where are you going to get your McChicken, you fat motherfucker?
Exactly.
Nowhere. God.
Sam can say that because he's fat. So he's,
Yeah, I can say
he's
that 'cause
one
I'm
of them
fat.
people. Yeah,
I know a fat guy.
we're not being racist against fat people. All right.
Yeah, Kokoro's a fat guy, so it's okay. He can say
Yeah,
things like,
Quokka knows a
You know, like, I literally did zero preparation for this topic. I'm just going to come out there and say it. But I've actually managed to come up with quite a few ideas just sitting here listening. I guess another one would be one that, you know, maybe you wouldn't think of. Again, offhand, but it's definitely there, is if any of you have ever seen Great Teacher Onizuka. Yes, no?
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
GTO?
No, I haven't seen it yet.
Yep.
I think I watched a little bit of it when I was younger, but I didn't.
That first OP is awesome.
That first OP is awesome, but
He just flushes the toilet.
that is a very good example of not judging a book by its cover. I mean, look at Onizuka. He's a freaking gang member. You know, he was ex-gang member in a bike gang. You know, rough, tough, and all that stuff. But he genuinely wants what is good for his students. And, you know, you wouldn't really expect that from the stereotypical, casting of a gang member who, was into that kind of lifestyle. But the fact is he gets out there and at the very end does something incredibly sacrificial to help one of his students. And, it's not like I learned anything from it, but it's one of those things that just kind of reiterates the point and drives it home. Because that's legit. I love you, Onizuka.
What would Onizuka do?
What would Onizuka do?
W-O-Z.
Now, this might be for an AO
Wait,
episode,
O-D.
but is there anybody here who has learned something from a hentai? Real talk.
Yes.
I was
yes.
wondering when this
I'm going
question
first. I'm
would
going
come.
first.
I learned
I'm going first.
lolis are greatest and striped pants are best girl.
Striped pants. Okay.
Striped
I've learned
undies.
to never
Wanzu.
walk into a shed.
It took this long to go down the drain.
Oh, let me go.
Good
Let
job,
me go.
gents.
So I learned something. There's
And chicks with dicks are great.
Nick's got some here. Okay, let's hear it.
I'm going to comment on that too. First of all, they're great in animated form. In real life, for me, doesn't do it. Second of all, there's a doujin called Layers of White. It's the creepiest fucking shit I've ever read as far as that stuff goes. This kid goes into a shed and this Mothra lady captures him, but you don't know how long he's in there. He's in there for what feels like years. And he comes out, it's been an hour. Goes and he's just warped all this time, and the moth makes him and get her pregnant and stuff, and she's treating him like a child, and it's so fucking creepy.
What?
So I'm not walking into sheds
What?
anymore.
So the lesson you took from that is that you're not walking into sheds anymore.
Oh hell no. I'm gonna get
I ain't trying to impregnate no Mothra shit.
Hey yo, if you've ever seen if you've ever read SAO Extra, you learn glop.
What's glop?
Is that some bestiality shit?
No, you never read the what was it?
Clop?
SAO episode 16.5, that little manga that was done by the original artist that was supposed.
Oh, is that where Asuna's getting tentacled or something?
No, whenever her and Kirito have that night alone.
Ooh.
Oh yeah, and then they just do nothing.
What are you still doing with your clothes on? Are we gonna do this or what?
They're let's not do anything.
Seriously, none of you have
Even though
read that?
There's no consequences.
No, I haven't actually.
I've
Sao,
seen some
Mac.
other
You
stuff.
know how I
but-
feel about Sao.
What's an anime film that you guys probably learned something from? Is there a film that you guys watch and you were
all the
Oh.
Ghibli movies, all the Mamoru Hosoda movies are family, and they just shove it down your throat.
that's true.
No, I gotta go back old school.
I've
Pokemon the first movie.
Oh,
yeah,
yup.
yep.
There is nobody from the Pokemon generation that didn't cry watching that movie and didn't learn everything about the world from
I'm
that
got
sorry.
movie.
that
If you
right.
didn't cry, if you didn't cry when you watch that shit, then you're heartless. You're a heartless bitch.
Hey guys,
Though yes, it wasn't a Scyther, it was an Alakazam.
Scyther.
I didn't cry for that movie.
God, you're a
You
bitch.
heartless bastard.
Well, you like prison school. You have no taste.
Dude,
But there's just
it
all those
takes me
things
50 episodes to get to that point. I
it's
need that
impossible
Arya.
not to learn anything from Mewtwo because he's making a clone army to take over the world because he can be a better trainer and make better Pokemon.
Mhm.
Just like Hitler.
And then he just ends it right before they all fly off. And he's just it's not the circumstances of your birth that matter, but it's what you do with that life that counts.
It's what you do with the gift of life that determines who you are. Which I am getting tattooed
Now that-
on my butt cheek because it's legit as fuck. No, but there's another
That sounds
quote.
all nice and flowery, but in real life, that's not entirely true. Because
No,
if you're
plus-
born in like the slums, you're kind of fucked. So let's be real.
Come on, dude.
No, but you can still make it out.
you
Nobody's
could.
absolutely fucked.
I
Everybody
know.
has
Yeah,
opportunity.
maybe.
There is always
really hard.
opportunity.
Really, everybody has opportunity.
Hey,
It
that's
just
easy
may
to
not be
say.
the
That's
same
easy to say from
opportunities.
my high horse up here. But man, if I was born in like poverty in India or something, just throwing out random country, like good luck getting out of that.
You can walk to France.
That's a long walk.
It's a long walk.
That's an opportunity right there.
That's
Well, no,
a
there's
really
another-
long walk.
There's another quote. There's another quote in that movie where when they all kind of stop fighting, they stop slapping each other. Where Meowth is like talking to the other Meowth, but he's meowing obviously, and Meowth is just like talking because he's a weirdo. And they're like looking up at the sky.
Well, no, he learned how to speak English to impress a Persian.
No, it was another Meowth, and then she went with the Persian.
Oh.
Persian the Pokemon,
That's
not
sad.
the
Yeah, no,
Not
not
the
like
person.
it's not the country. But like he's like
Not a Persian.
he says something along the lines of, he's like, we all are under the same sky, we breathe the same air, and blah blah blah. And maybe instead of we keep looking at what's different, we should start looking at what's the same about all of us. Real shit.
From my nigga Meowth.
Meowth is the realest Pokemon of all time.
He only keeps it real.
Of all time.
Of all time.
I'm just wondering, has Pokemon like gotten away from those good values
Yes.
of the first movie?
Yes.
Yeah, it has.
Completely.
Yes. I actually
That's
tried
sad.
watching like recent episodes, and they're just so dumb. Just, like Pokemon
Don't be a
Origins.
hater, man.
Pokemon Origins is where it's at. Nah, though. What's another film? I'm trying to think of a film that's not Ghibli or a Hosoda film.
Well, we got the Satoshi Kon movies, which are just trippy as fuck.
Oh, I guess I said Eden of the East already, but I don't know, man.
Angel's Egg, man, teaches you to
Angel's Egg doesn't teach you
fuck if I
jack
know.
shit.
teaches you to read analysis of movies so you can
Well-
understand them.
I mean, I guess 5 centimeters per second shows you that life can be kind of shitty, but beautiful at the same time.
Yes, so does Berserk in a different way.
Oh my god.
None of you guys have
Well,
seen
really,
that yet, man.
3 centimeters, whatever, 5 centimeters per second, 13 centimeters per second. I was get
5
confused about what it
centimeters
is.
per second.
5 centimeters per
13.
second. Like, there's a lot of that where he was always thinking about the girl that was back in Tokyo when he had a girl that was right next to him the whole time.
As I said,
For real.
life can be shitty and
Because he
beautiful
would
at
always
the same
write,
time.
and he wouldn't even like send the text to her. He could have at least sent the text to the girl in Tokyo, but he would just write them for himself and then delete them.
I was about to
Spoilers.
I was about to say something about an Evangelion, but that'd be stupid.
Getting the
Why
robot.
would you
Yeah.
say anything about
'Cause the-
Evangelion?
'cause the
Evangelion
end-
sucks.
No, it doesn't. You're just being a butt sniffer. Watch it one more time.
Evangelion
okay.
sucks.
I'm trying to think, man. There's got to be another anime film that I just fucking loved.
I'm surprised none of us mentioned Plastic Memories
I
yet.
haven't
That's
seen
not a
it,
Plastic
so-
movie, but-
memories.
It's not. It's a worse version of a lot of other things that do that.
Yeah, but it's still something that most people would know. It's just that because a lot of people get too hung up on the specifics of a lot of the story, which the show decided to get hung up quite a bit on, instead of focusing on just what the lesson it was going about was.
Well, that's the problem, though. I can't learn a lesson from a bad show, except that the show is bad.
No, but I mean, a lot of the show is bad. Well, yes, you totally can learn a lesson from a bad
You
show,
can.
unless you are literally an idiot yourself. Which
No,
is
I
probably
mean,
the
I
case.
can't learn
but-
something like some real shit, like because the presentation isn't there. I'm too focused on
How
on,
bad
on
it is.
the shortcomings. Yeah, like I can't focus on it.
So anyway, the show itself focused too much on trying to justify the story when it didn't need to, because normal suspension of disbelief would allow everybody to justify the story to themselves. But it's just all about making sure that you spend the time that you have in a valuable way instead of just letting that time slip away.
Yeah.
Which is specifically is talking about the people that you care about in your life, but it could apply to a lot of other things. Like, what's something that you really want to do that is like a dream.
I'm just saying this is exactly
can't-
the
don't have
same
forever to
as
do it.
Your Lie in April, except Your Lie in April did it 100 times better. Even if Sam's gonna say it's a bad show, like Sam, you
It's
would
not a-
fucking
it's-
kill yourself if you had to watch Plastic Memories.
It's actually quite a bit of a different lesson because Your Lie in
it's
April
the same
isn't
lesson,
about.
same one.
No, it really is not.
There's the and she and the boy have to spend the best moments they can or whatever. That's kind of the basic
That
idea.
is not what Your Lie in April is about.
Here we go.
It's pretty much about that.
If you're thinking about time as being the big thing that affects Your Lie in April's lessons that it's trying to teach, then you haven't paid attention to the show.
That's
Because
one of the
really-
major lessons in the show. Yeah, it is. She says
No,
that directly.
it-
She's like, "Oh, I knew I was sick, so I had to practice on my violin so I could play."
Yeah,
the
but that is
piano
not
with
the
you."
story because the story is about moving forward.
Kind of.
Kind of. That's exactly what that show is about.
No.
What you're looking
no,
is
it's
at
not.
the
It's not
sub
because
thing as being like the main thing when it really is not.
no, it's not because the show doesn't even. It ends before he has to like move forward. Really,
No,
Like,
he
it
already
ends,
accepts
like right
it
at that
and
point.
moves forward by the end of the show.
The
Yeah, it's
final
like that's
scene
the-
of the show
that's the
is like
finale,
months
yeah.
later.
So that's not what the show. That's not like the main theme of the show. That's the ending theme. That's
No, the
what
main
it ends
show,
on.
What do you? The whole conversation with Saki in the park, talking about how he may have to lose somebody else to move forward again, has nothing to do with time. It's all about moving forward.
No, I
Get wrecked.
realize that's part of the lesson of the show, but that's not the main lesson.
lesson. That is the main
It's
lesson.
the main lesson of the show is
Well, I
learning
mean-
how to move on.
I don't think it is because he doesn't have to move on until the finale. So that's not the
No,
main
he
lesson.
already moved on from his
Yeah.
mother.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the girl. Yeah, from his mother, but that's
The show isn't about the girl.
no. That's a different thing than what I'm talking about because
We're talking about the show. Your Lie
him
in
and
April.
his mother. Yeah, so moving on from his past, that's a different part. I was talking about the girl and him. So if you compare the girl and
Yeah,
him
but-
versus the girl in Plastic Memories, it's the same thing. And then they
Yeah,
added
but
that
that's
extra part.
not
to
what Your Lie in April is
Well, you
about.
have to remember too that if Nick took something different away from it than you, that doesn't mean it's not.
No, I'm taking the same thing.
No,
I
it means
I was
he's wrong.
confused.
It means he's wrong, Sam.
No, Nick, I was trying to say that for you.
No, there's a misunderstanding because we were talking about different characters. I thought he was talking about Kaori. He was talking about the mother.
Mac
That's
and
a
I
different
were
character.
talking about the show Your Lie in
I'm
April.
talking about
Nick
the
was
whole
talking
thing
about
as a whole.
subset of that show.
The first half of the show, yes, is about his mother. The second half is about the girl.
Yeah, but it's both about overcoming.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not about. The second half is not about moving on though.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
That's not what it
Because
is.
there's nothing about capitalizing on time that happens in the entire show, except
Yes,
what
there
Kaori
is.
does.
That's
But
the
you
whole-
don't
yeah,
know
that's
what
what
she's
she
doing
does.
until the end.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you don't know what she's doing until the final scene. There is no time concept in the entire show because the show is not about Kaori.
The show is about Kosei.
Maybe we should agree to disagree because Your Lie in April sucks.
Agree. Your Lie in April sucks.
No, we disagree to agree.
No, I've already said my point. Like the first half, yeah, he's moving on from his past and his mother.
No,
He's
the
trying to
whole
get his
show
hearing
is
back.
about moving on.
No, and right. And what I'm saying is that if
Half
Nick,
the show is.
that if Nick took something different away from it, that doesn't mean what he's
No,
saying.
I took the same thing, Sam. I'm not disagreeing with them. I took the same thing, but that's not the main point of the show. Is what I'm trying to argue. We already did a whole episode
Then
on
you
the
need
show.
to go
so-
watch it again
Okay, well, either way,
because I've watched it twice.
let's
and read it.
let's talk. I gotta talk about this.
Final thoughts.
Here's my final thought. Well, I just wanted to say one more that I kind of took something big from, and even a lot of Nadesco especially, but like Gundam 80 War in the Pocket. It's like 8 episodes.
Ooh, don't spoil it. I haven't seen that one
Okay,
yet.
I won't spoil it, but I mean, okay, we'll just talk about Nadesco then. There's in the movie.
I haven't seen that one either. Don't spoil it.
Jesus Christ. Well, in the movie, this is not a secret. I mean, he says it in the middle of the movie. But, like, one of the characters, he was, like, tortured because he was experimented on. So he lost, like, his sense of taste and sense of smell and all this shit because of it. And he's a cook. So if you're a cook without your sense of taste and your sense of smell, you're basically, like, boned. Or, you know what I mean? Like, you can only go by a recipe on paper. And sometimes that's not good enough. You know, one of the major golden rules of being a chef is always taste your food. Always taste your food. And the thing is, like, there's this part where he gives his recipe. He's given this thing to one of the other characters, and she's like, I can't accept this. Like, I can't do it, right? Like, you think it's like some fucking crazy thing. It turns out that he's given her his best ramen recipe that he's told no one else knows the recipe except him, and he's giving it to her. He's like, no, you don't understand. Like, the experiments made me like this. And the thing about food is that it brings everyone together, and I want you to bring everyone together with this recipe as best as you can, because life is scary, and if you can bring people together with good food, good people, then you won't feel like a day is wasted. And shit, I'm about to cry up in this bitch. So like, I don't know, man. Shit, just cook good food, be with your homies, do your best at everything you do, because tomorrow I could go driving and get in a car accident and have to pay a bunch of money for my car insurance, and then I'll be poor, and then I'll never be able to do this podcast again, and then I'll break my leg or something. You know what I mean? Like, fuck. You know, like, don't be a bitch. Do your best.
Surround yourself with good, strong people. Support each other.
So basically, my final thought is, if I can make my final thought now, even though I don't know how much time we have left, is surround yourself with good people, eat good food, be healthy, don't be a bitch, don't be a dick, and always tip your waiter or waitress.
And spay and neuter your pets.
Oh yeah, no, seriously, yeah. Fucking fix your pets. Like, oh my god.
Shout out to Drew Carey, the new Bob Barker.
Well,
What the fuck?
and don't let your dreams be
Don't let your
dreams.
dreams be dreams, dude. It's like,
Let them be nightmares.
it's a good topic though. It's like, this is why we watch movies and anime and porn. You know what I mean?
Don't let your porn dreams be dreams.
And on that bombshell, I've been Quokka. With me has been Mac, Nick, and Sam, and this has been the Anime Summit Podcast. If you like the show, don't forget to follow us on Twitter at Anime Summit or leave a review on iTunes.